He can participate in the, as an audience member, right?
He can, yes, if he wants to.
That's questions we forget to ask.
All right, 7 o'clock, call the meeting to order. Need a roll call?
Carlo Cicciarillo. Diana Eckert.
Here.
Lydia Galante. Here. Monica Nashadka.
Here.
Chairman Eichholz.
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from April 20th?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, we're going to open up ZBA 22-471. Petitioner is Robert Gorel, asking for a variation to permit a side yard setback of 2 feet in lieu of the 3 feet required for an extension of an existing patio that currently encroaches onto the required side yard setback. A variation to permit a side yard setback of 0 feet in lieu of 3 feet required for a shed, and a variation to permit a rear yard setback to 0 feet in lieu of 3 feet required for a shed. Can I get a motion to reopen the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It looks like proper notice has been served and staff will now start their presentation.
Thank you. So this was opened at the previous meeting in April and continued until today. So thank you to the Gorels for accommodating my very, very bad allergies. So the request tonight is to sort of extend an existing patio and install a new shed. The subject property is zoned R2 and is located at the corner of Willow and Maple, the southeast corner. It is a very narrow lot. So the zoning ordinance allows for a slightly smaller side yard setback for patios and sheds and things than what is typically required because it is so narrow. So normally 5 feet is required from the side and 3 feet from the rear, but because it's so narrow, only 3 feet is required. So they just want to make these improvements to create a more usable backyard for what they kind of have as a backyard. The existing patio already encroaches onto the side setback required. So by extending it, they need to request variance to make that patio conforming to code. And then additionally, they want to build a shed in the corner of the yard, the southeast corner. And they'd like to put it as close to the property line as possible, just because they do have such little space in the backyard to accommodate a structure like a shed. I did reach out to, Public Works and the engineering department to ensure that they had no concerns about the shed being placed in the corner on, basically on the property line, just because usually that's where stormwater goes, and they didn't have any concerns. I would just recommend as a condition, making sure that Public Works has signed off on the building permits for the shed before the permit's issued, just to make sure that, you know, whatever drainage work he does do is approved by the village and is not gonna, you know, negatively affect anyone else. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Open it to commissioners for any questions or comments.
We have a letter from Bonnie Reamer. And apparently she is okay as long as it doesn't create flooding in her yard. Is staff concerned about creating flooding?
I'm not concerned. I just want to verify that with a condition that would require sign off from the village engineer or their designee prior to any permits being issued.
Isn't that routine?
Yes, but just having that condition, I think.
I agree. Just back up in the file.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think I really have a problem. That was all.
Anyone else? Would you like to say anything, or you? Need to swear you in if you're gonna. All right. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Swear to tell the whole truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Okay, if you can state your name and address for the record.
Robert Gorel, 151 Willow Street, Roselle.
Esme Gorel, 151 Willow and Roselle.
It's
Um,
okay. You do.
Just thank you guys for your time. I know it's been a couple months. Really, the reason to do connect our patio is we are having water issues ourselves. Like our current patio is pitched towards our garage, and connecting it once we redo it, we'll actually correct all the water issues and move it to a pre-existing drain that we have that just over time and I guess heaving had disconnected it. So we did go over that all with Bonnie, and we are running water away from our house. So that is part of the plan. So and
Oh,
we'll
good.
submit that in the permit.
Good.
Other than that, that's all we had.
Because if it doesn't work, I'm sure she'll be here.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the public? Diana read the comment in advance.
Mhm.
Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, need a motion for the findings of fact for the patio variance.
So moved. Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Diana Eckert.
The motion didn't include the condition.
We'll put that with the variation.
Okay, aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Chairman Eichholz.
Aye. Need a motion for the findings of fact for the shed side yard variance.
So moved. Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Diana Eckert,
Aye.
Chairman Eichholz.
Aye. A variation for the patio. A motion for the variation of the patio.
So
For
moved.
the shed.
The shed.
the findings of fact for the rear setback for the shed. Oh, it's okay.
Need a motion for the findings of fact for the shed rear yards variation.
So moved.
Second.
Nice mixing it up.
Yeah.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Diana Eckert,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Chairman Eichels.
Aye.
We did that first.
Okay.
Yep, so now it's the variations.
Need a motion for the variation for the patio
So moved.
With the condition
with the
that
condition.
engineering signs off on all the permits.
So yeah, with that condition. So moved.
There's a
Second.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Diana Eckert,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Chairman Eichels.
Aye. Need a motion for the variation for the shed side yard variation.
So moved. Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Diana Eckert,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Chairman Eichels.
Aye. Last one, need a motion for the variation for the shed rear yard variation.
So moved. Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Diana Eckert,
Aye.
Chairman Eichels.
Aye. You guys are all set?
You're not obligated to stay.
Oh, my.
All right, we're gonna open ZBA 22-472.
So moved.
Second.
That is
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Joseph Malone, petition for a variation to permit a driveway extension in the corner side yard, required by section 7.04 DB of the Village of Roselle zoning ordinance. Open the poll. Proper notice has been served and staff will give their presentation.
So the next petition on the agenda tonight is ZBA 22-472. The subject property is 30 Brookside Drive and it's zoned R2 single family residence. So this is a fairly unique situation. The property is at the corner of Brookside Drive and Newcastle Drive. And the property, the single family detached house with an attached 2-car garage that is located like on the corner of the house, where the corner, where the two streets meet. So it's not on the interior side, it's on the corner side. The petitioner who's here tonight would like to extend the width of his driveway. So it would be 24 feet at the property line and then sort of angle out to accommodate an additional vehicle to park. He has a vehicle for his job and then the family vehicles. And right now their driveway doesn't accommodate 3 vehicles. I literally searched on Google Maps for a house that had like a garage in the corner with a driveway extension that was like close to the street instead of like an interior sort of extension. And I only found one other one and they did not get a permit to do that work. And I don't know how long it's been there. The driveway actually looked pretty old. So I decided that it was best to request a variation in order to have, if it's granted, to sort of have the approval on the books. He's requesting it to be widened to 27.5 feet. And so it would extend past the wall of the house that faces Newcastle by about 7.5 feet. It is still located fairly far away from the property line and the street. So I don't believe that it would have any impact on the site triangle for the intersection. And then it would be able to permit the family to park all the vehicles that they have. So.
Thank you. Commissioners have any questions, comments?
Do you, in your memo, you state that the zoning ordinance permits a maximum of width of 24 feet for a driveway. As part of the zoning ordinance update, this will be changed.
Yes.
To what?
So it hasn't been obviously finalized because that would come before Plan Commission and get input from you guys. But how the code technically reads is that you cannot have a driveway period that's wider than 24 feet because the code was written in the 80s and is a little outdated. So 24 feet wouldn't accommodate a 3-car garage. So over the years, we've interpreted it to be 24 feet at the property line to accommodate people to have an additional width for a car. So encouraging the sort of angling out or like swooping of the driveway to create a parking pad rather than just having a large 28 feet or 30 feet or however many plus wide driveway at the property line.
I remember discussing this when I was on the village board, and at that time, we did not want the driveway to go beyond the garage. Because if everybody did it, it would look like a parking lot. I noticed that this will not be straight. It will angle.
Yes.
So how will that third car be able to, they would not be pulling out at the same time? Chances are.
Well, they only have 2 drivers, so kids are kind of little right now, right?
Right, right. But there's 3 vehicles.
Probably the least used one will be on the side.
And you don't use, lost my train of thought. Our other thing was people can use their garage. That's what the garages are for. It's 4 cars. And I understand what you said about, having the kids and all their stuff. Been there, done that, And now it's all our grandkids' stuff. That's why we had to get a shed in the backyard. It's for their stuff. I don't know. I don't like going beyond the garage. So I'll wait and hear what everybody else has to say.
I do struggle with this one a little bit too. It's non-conforming to the neighborhood with exception I could see, and I don't know when that was granted. I don't know that it matters a whole lot. It's still non-conforming, as everything has a really straight driveway directly up to the garage and looks very uniform. So I am a little concerned that once you do this, that particular block and on that corner will look off. I did pass by. I'm a little torn with this one too. So I too will wait to hear what everybody else has to say.
Driving around town, I counted no less than 30 similar driveways with parking on the side of the garage, side of the house. It's permitted in new construction or new houses going up like this. There are 3 on my block alone. So aesthetically, I have zero problem with any of this.
I agree.
It matches Roselle, maybe not specifically to this neighborhood. But give it time as younger families move in and have more things, we will be having this more often. So
Well, then the streets are gonna look like a parking lot. I don't think this is Roselle at all. And just because there are 30 homes with it, doesn't mean that they were all approved.
right, but we literally approved the same type of thing last year. This-
I don't think Diana did that.
Yeah, because the conversation of how many cars should fit in the driveway.
Yeah.
I mentioned I can fit like 19 in my driveway.
You have a nice long driveway. Not everyone has a long driveway. So. We
But
have
in
to
the same
compare
breath-
apples to apples. and we're
But
not-
in the same breath, my driveway goes past my garage because I have a horseshoe. This would be no.
But your
different.
driveway, then it doesn't compare. That's not the same thing. So it's not on the table.
Any other questions from commissioners before we ask them to make a comment?
Nothing from me.
Would you like to say anything? Come up. Just need to swear you in really quick. Raise your right hand. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Joseph Malone, 30 Brookside Drive.
Thank you.
So clearly the big concern is that the property is going to look like a parking lot, potentially by extending out towards the street. I feel like on our property, we at least have, like I mentioned in the note, that we have landscaping that separates that area. There's a fence up that kind of blocks the view of that as well. And it's to the point that at the time that I'm requesting it right now, we don't park 3 vehicles in the driveway most of the time. It's generally only when I'm on call with the police department, which is every 4th week, or if I'm in training for the week type of a thing. So it's not like we're gonna have a ton of cars parked out in front of the house all the time. Our kids aren't gonna be driving age for another 8 years. So we're really only requesting it for the most part to help out with the parking for the vehicle that I have for work. And then I feel like that having the landscaping there and the fence that's there, that kind of breaks up the sight line of any eyesore that you're gonna have with the parking pad. And then, like you said, when you compare it to other properties that may not necessarily be on the corner, but certainly have as much concrete space that, and above and beyond what we're asking for, that would, I would say, would look more like a parking lot than what we're requesting. So I would hope that you maybe take that into account when you guys make your decision. I appreciate your thoughts.
Yes. Raise your hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. You state your name and address.
So a couple of the things about the side and not looking uniform, someone 2 houses down from us just got approved and it's extending exactly, we want the exact driveway as what they have. And we have more property than they have, so for drainage issues and everything. And then the other note is currently he's parallel parking in our apron, which I think looks more like a parking lot than if we could park our car normally in the driveway.
So the alternative would be to park in the street, correct?
Oh, like the apron.
But you can't park all night, and they have to park on the apron because we're not supposed to park across the sidewalk.
So parallel parking.
Yeah,
Well, he could park overnight with police if he calls it in.
but you're only allowed so many times a year to
Yeah,
do that.
3 times a month or something like that.
How often did you say you were gonna have the car?
So there's 4 detectives that you rotate.
For the full week.
Like this last week, I wasn't on call, but I was in training.
Uh-huh.
In general, it's every 4.
So when you're not on call, so you only work 1 week a month?
No, I only have to take home call.
Okay.
Call then I call in the middle. Big habits.
Right. Right. So the other weeks you're just not on call. You go in, but you're just not. I see. I'm sorry.
Is the garage at all an option for the two of you?
We currently have a pop-up camper. Even before that, we didn't park because it was so hard to get the kids in and out of their car seats with all their bikes, so.
4 kids, so between the 4 kids, the trailer we have for the bikes, we're pretty.
And the shed for us is hard too, because we're the corner lot, we can only do it on this side, and we have the field behind their house, so it's like, we wouldn't have any view of the field.
Any questions for them? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Are there any issues with drainage on this one?
Were there any comments from neighbors or anything submitted in advance?
One neighbor called, just to understand more about like what the notice was, and the packet had already been posted. So I directed him to the website and I haven't heard anything.
Are there any comments from the audience? Need to swear you in really quick.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dombeck. I live
Could raise your right hand, Paul.
at 50 Brookside Drive. Sorry?
I just need to swear you in. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. Bruce Dombeck, I live at 50 Brookside Drive, pretty close to the neighbors here. I've been on the block for about 40 years. Seen a lot of the neighbors expand driveways. So I think they have a couple cars. Yeah, I do see a third car there once in a while. It has to park in the apron. I think that's probably a worse condition than actually adding a third car row. Personally, that's what I would feel. If you look at the corner is pretty open. I think parking the car in the apron actually causes, more of a problem with interference of traffic or sight line or something like that. Whereas a 3-car wide driveway, I think that would be a smarter option for something like this. Now, he's already stated that he's only going to use it temporarily or whatever, but these are good people. They take care of their house. They maintain the property and such. They've been there for a couple of years. So I don't know, somebody who wants to live in Roselle, pay taxes and do the right thing. I think it's a good thing. They should get the driveway that they want. I don't have any issues with it, and I live pretty much adjacent to them. So that's just my personal opinion. I thought I'd express it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Guess my thought is the car's parking there no matter what, whether it's in
Right.
on an angle, so that when she loads the kids in the car, she opens the door and blocks the sidewalk. Or they invest money in the house and put it in a safer area. You're gonna have 3 cars there no matter what.
I mean, even down the line, if they have children, even down the line, I completely understand coming from a big family. Like, it gets really packed really quick, so.
Yes, I don't think we're getting away from the fact that there'll be 3 cars in that driveway no matter what, whether we approve this or not. It's would we prefer it hidden by landscape and away from a sidewalk for loading? Or do we want it parked in an apron, which I think looks horrible?
Yeah. We have a couple of those on my block. I see those cars that are parked in aprons because they have no choice. I agree. I think that's a lot more unsightly than to see it on the side of the house. I think what makes me feel a little bit better about this after thinking for a minute is that the direction that you're turning that driveway, you're doing it toward Newcastle. You're not doing it towards somebody else's house. So I think that's the other thing about this variance. You're not really impeding on anybody else's land by doing that.
I agree. I'm good with it. I also have 1,000 kids to get in and out of a car, so
Yep.
I'm fully on board.
Any other questions, comments before we close the public hearing? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
I
Can I get a motion for the findings of fact?
So moved. Second.
Monica Nashadka,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Diane Eckert,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Chairman Eichel's.
Aye. Can I get a motion to approve the variation?
So moved.
Second.
Monica Nishatka,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Diana Eckert,
Aye.
Chairman Eichel's.
Aye. You guys are all set. Thank you very much.
Just apply for the building permit within 6 months.
Is there any old business?
Oh, just chugging along, getting busy. So,
Anything for next month?
no, I'm really hoping.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm really
No.
hoping.
I
that-
told my husband, I was
No?
like, fill your stuff out, do it, get it done.
What?
I want to like redo the driveway, but
Oh.
the people who would live there before me did it without a permit, so. not need to
That's nice.
Excuse myself or recuse myself
Yeah.
and have my husband come and, yeah.
So everyone has to be available then for the next meeting.
So
in order to have a
sorry.
quorum. Apologize to them. Or you have to email the mayor, Paul. Yeah.
So no old business, no new business. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.